Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back for a Wednesday edition of the Steel City Sports Report, where we talk all things Steelers, Penguins, and Pirates. I am your host, Brady Vini, and today's report includes the Pittsburgh Pirates acquire what could be their starting first baseman in a trade with the Cleveland Guardians. The Pirates learn what spot they will pick from in the 2025 MLB Draft. A behind-the-scenes look at Mike Tomlin's relationship with Joey Porter Jr. and George Pickens is shown on the latest Hard Knocks, and more. As always, please be sure to like, comment, and share this video, as well as subscribe to the channel. Now let's get into the first news story of the day. The Pittsburgh Pirates acquire what could be their starting first baseman in a trade with the Cleveland Guardians. In yesterday's edition of the Steel City Sports Report, I said that the Pirates and general manager Ben Cherington need to move faster in making quality additions to the Bucs roster. Well, I may have just spoken the Pirates' first big offseason move into existence. Yesterday evening, the Cleveland Guardians traded Gold Glove second baseman Andrés Giménez and right-handed relief pitcher Nick Sandlin to the Toronto Blue Jays in exchange for first baseman Spencer Horwitz and minor league outfielder Nick Mitchell. However, the first baseman Horwitz from that deal wasn't a Guardian for long. Later in the night, he was traded once again, this time to the Pirates, for right-handed starting pitcher Luis Ortiz, the Bucs' number 15 prospect, left-handed pitcher Michael Kennedy, and the Bucs' number 17 prospect, left-handed pitcher Josh Hartle. Okay, there is a lot to break down in this deal. Starting with Horwitz, the 27-year-old is 5'10", 190 pounds, and plays both first and second base. With the bat last season, Horwitz appeared in 97 games with the Blue Jays, recording a .265 batting average, 12 home runs, 40 RBIs, and an OPS of .790. The move to acquire Horwitz has the fingerprints of new Pirates hitting coach Matt Hague all over it. According to the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette's Noah Hiles, Hague worked with Horwitz at multiple levels during their time together with the Blue Jays organization. Horwitz absolutely raked in the minor leagues with Hague as his coach, hitting over 300 with a .904 OPS in over 200 AAA games. The left-handed slugger continued that success a good bit last year in his little over half a season with the Jays' main club. Cherington spoke about what the Bucs and fans can expect from his newest acquisition, saying, "Spencer has been a consistently strong offensive performer throughout his pro career, including his first extended major league experience this season. As a left-handed hitting first baseman with on-base skill, we believe he's a strong fit for our lineup and team." In his first media showings at the winter meetings yesterday, Cherington said that the pitching is the team's strength and adding offense was the focus. He did that here. Now looking at what the Pirates gave up in this trade, Luis Ortiz was a fan favorite and he is a good starting pitcher who will lead up innings. But the Bucs have one of the biggest surpluses of starting pitching in the MLB. Behind the Pirates' top four rotation men in Paul Skeens, Mitch Keller, Jared Jones, and Bailey Falter, you have highly touted prospects Bubba Chandler, Thomas Harrington, and Braxton Ashcraft on the cusp of reaching the MLB, plus Johan Oviedo and Mike Burrows returning from injury. And that's without Cherington adding any other starters at this point. As for the two left-handed pitching prospects in this deal, it feels a little steep to give up a pair of top 20 prospects. At least the Bucs still have their top two southpaw prospects in Anthony Solometo and Hunter Barco. Overall, I'm okay with this move. I would still prefer that Cherington go get a proven everyday first baseman like Christian Walker or Yandy Diaz, but that's probably out of the question now. If the Bucs are settling on Horwitz as their first baseman for 2025 and he continues hitting with Hague, fine, but the money saved from this move needs to bring in a couple of big fish for the outfield and bullpen. Oh, and the Pirates also signed 25-year-old right-handed relief pitcher Elvis Alvarado from the Marlins yesterday to a major league split contract, but that got overshadowed by the Horwitz deal. What do you guys think of this trade? Did the Pirates overpay? Will Horwitz be the Pirates' long-term answer at first base? Let me know in the comments below. The Pirates learn what spot they will pick from in the 2025 MLB Draft. Also yesterday, the 18 MLB teams who did not make the postseason last year learned what spots they will be picking from in the 2025 MLB Draft at the MLB Draft Lottery. The lottery, which was held in Dallas, Texas at the MLB winter meetings, saw the Pirates enter the night with the sixth highest odds of getting the number 1 overall pick. Unfortunately, the odds were too great for the Bucs to move up, and they will end up picking right where the odds had them at number 6. In drawing the 6th overall selection, the Pirates will now pick in the top 10 of the MLB draft in every single year of general manager Ben Cherington's tenure thus far. If you want to look at this with a bit of optimism, the last time the Pirates drafted 6th overall was in 1985, when they selected outfielder Barry Bonds. Hopefully this time next year, the Pirates won't be in the draft lottery, meaning that they made the postseason. The Penguins fall to the Avs in a hard-fought affair. Last night, the Pittsburgh Penguins were defeated by the Colorado Avalanche at home 6-2. I'm not even really upset with the Pens' effort, as this was just one of those nights where you run into a team on their A-game. Colorado's top line of Arturi Lehkonen, Nathan MacKinnon, and Mikko Rantanen was on fire in the first period, previewing the rest of the night, with Colorado's top two offensive stars in MacKinnon and Rantanen scoring. In the second frame, Rantanen potted his second of the game, but the Pens showed some fight in the last half of the period, with 2 goals from Cody Glass, his first as a Penguin, and red-hot Michael Bunting. The Penguins carried that momentum into the start of the third period, but their rally was eventually snuffed out as the Avalanche scored 3 more goals, including another from Rantanen for the hat trick. Again, no matter how hard you try, sometimes you just get hit in the face. Sorry, Ned. And that is what happened to the Pens, watching the Avs' top line record 11 combined points. I guess if I had to pick one player who was noticeably bad in this one, I'll go with the cliche goalie answer and say Tristan Jarry. Jarry gave up 5 goals on 27 shots, but after performing well recently since his return to the NHL, he was due for a stinker like this. Also, I don't know what we're doing with the power play, but we need to get Matt Grzelcyk and Kevin Hayes off the top unit. The Pens will now head out on a 2-game Canadian road trip to Montreal and Ottawa, starting with the Canadiens on Thursday night. A behind-the-scenes look at Mike Tomlin's relationship with Joey Porter Jr. and George Pickens is shown on the latest Hard Knocks. Right now, the Pittsburgh Steelers are 10-3 on the season and 1 win away from clinching a playoff berth. However, if you had to ask Steelers fans what 2 things worry them about the team or a specific player, a majority of them will say Joey Porter Jr.'s holding penalties and George Pickens' recent hamstring injury. Well, Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin addressed these worries in last night's episode of Hard Knocks. The episode highlighted Porter Jr.'s 5 penalties against the Bengals 2 Sundays ago. To address this, Tomlin approached JPJ in a practice last week, and instead of scolding him, Coach T said, "Sometimes that stuff just comes with being you know? Sometimes I think you care about that stuff more than I do. You know what I mean? You're gonna be great, but you ain't gonna be great today. You better push forward towards it today. But it ain't gonna happen as quickly as you like. It's never going to happen as quickly as you'd like. You played in 4 games in 2019 at Penn State. You probably thought you should have started them all, right? That's how stuff goes." Later in the episode, and during the Browns game from Sunday, microphones caught a hooded Pickens on the sideline telling Tomlin he wants to play so badly. To that, Tomlin told GP, "It's that football life. It's just football life." Tomlin is a top 3 coach in the league right now. Watching how he motivated Porter Jr. instead of yelling at him, and comparing how Tomlin is with his team to the rest of the coaches in Hard Knocks, Coach T is the only one who is a true leader. It also seems like there is no animosity or issues that Pickens has with Tomlin like so many speculate. All in all, it was another good episode of Hard Knocks, which was mainly focused on the rivalry between the Browns and Steelers. The only thing that was completely missing that lots of fans wanted to learn more about was the Ravens suspending Deontay Johnson. I guess with the Ravens on their bye week, they were on the back burner. Maybe we get something juicier in next week's episode. This defensive player says he wants to retire a Steeler. For the first time in a while, it feels like us Steelers fans can say without any delusional bias that the Steelers are Super Bowl contenders. Mike Tomlin is still one of the best coaches in the NFL, Russell Wilson has revitalized his career as the Steelers quarterback, and the defense may be one of the best in the league. With things looking up for the black and gold, a member of that elite defense has now expressed his desire to return to the team for the next season and beyond. On his weekly radio show on 93.7 The Fan, inside linebacker Landon Roberts says that he wants to retire as a Pittsburgh Steeler. Roberts, who will become an unrestricted free agent after this season, said, "I plan on staying in Pittsburgh for the rest of my career." I don't think any Steelers fans would oppose this. So far this season, Roberts has played in all 13 of the Steelers' games, recording 35 total tackles, 18 of which were solo, 1 sack, and 1 forced fumble. The 30-year-old isn't just the Steelers' big and bruising run-stopping linebacker, and one of the best in the league at it, but is also a great mentor to fellow linebackers Patrick Queen and Peyton Wilson. If Roberts could be had back on a team-friendly contract, then there should be no reason why the Steelers don't make this move. And finally, Russell Wilson and his wife opened their first children's center in Pittsburgh. In the previous segment, I mentioned how Russell Wilson has turned back the clock in Pittsburgh, and he has pretty much solidified himself as the Steelers' starting quarterback for the next few years. Wilson has proven himself to be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL once again, but his impact off the field in Pittsburgh is just as great. Every Tuesday, Russ visits the UPMC Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh among his many other charitable works. Now, it was announced yesterday by Wilson that he and his wife Ciara have launched their first ever Why Not You Center at the Boys and Girls Club in Pittsburgh. Wilson's Why Not You Foundation is a nonprofit organization dedicated to education, children's health, and fighting poverty while empowering today's youth. To go along with the opening of this new center, Wilson and his foundation helped kick off a summer camp for and made a $50,000 donation to the Boys and Girls Club of Western Pennsylvania. As Pittsburgh has fallen in love with Wilson for what he's doing on the field, he is giving that love right back to the Pittsburgh community in spades. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up a Wednesday edition of the Steel City Sports Report. Again, please be sure to like, comment, and share this video, as well as subscribe to the channel. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys back here tomorrow with some more Pittsburgh sports news.